Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them.
It was strange when Jesus said that. I felt like he could see right through me.
Really?
Yeah, before this he had talked about who was blessed and who the kingdom of heaven belonged to and who will inherit the earth. But he hadn't said one single word about the law. So I was thinking, what on earth? Does Jesus mean the law is canceled now?
Yeah, it's like Jesus is saying, I can see what you're thinking, and no, you're way off.
And it would be strange if he came to abolish the law, because obedience to it was a condition for the agreement God made with our people. He said, "Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples." And all the people answered together that they would do as God said. And it was first then that God gave them the law.
Right. And the people had to confirm this again after God had given them the commandments. So if the law was to be canceled now, God would be pulling out of his covenant. But Jesus makes it possible that God's commandments can be fully fulfilled.
The way Jesus talked about it, the law is now more like a bare minimum. What he said to us went a lot further.
Let's hear that again. The way Jesus talked about it, the law is now more like a bare minimum. What he said to us went a lot further.
And then he was really clear about consequences, the dramatic punishment for not keeping the commandments.
Yeah, Jesus' words were absolute. He took away any and all room for selfishness, for seeking my own. He said that denying yourself every day is a requirement for following him.
The law has never managed to take away selfishness. Anyone can see that. But Jesus finished up that teaching by saying very clearly that we are to do according to what he had said. If we do the words he spoke, we will be fulfilling the law too.
So where before the law controlled what we should and shouldn't do, faith in Jesus takes over. We choose to believe in the words he said to us, and we believe that he meant what he said. And then we'll give everything we have to obey those words.
Faith in Jesus takes control. We choose to believe. And we'll give everything to obey those words.
You know, it took me a little while to register that Jesus really meant we should truly fulfill the law. But what you said about believing reminds me of the prophet Jeremiah. He said, "Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord." Then he describes how a man like that will always bear fruit, no matter what situation he's in.
What an abundant life. When we believe, we trust in all Jesus said. If you really come to faith in this, you'll be done with that feeling of constant bondage under the law.
Not bondage, that's right. But Jesus was clear all the way through about the life he was inviting us to. It wasn't some kind of stroll into the sunset.
No, and a little later he said that we were to enter by the narrow gate. When he said that, it was like any possible doubts evaporated. I knew I'm not getting through that gate if I hold on to anything in this world or seek my own in anything. I knew what I had to do.
And he made it very clear that once we're through that gate, the way we continue on is narrow. We must hold on to that decision of giving up everything, denying ourselves every single day.
The way we continue on is narrow. We must hold on to that decision of giving up everything, denying ourselves every single day.
Yeah, I felt like, well, Jesus invited us to the kingdom of heaven. And that great invitation was standing on two pillars. Denying ourselves every day was one of them.
Glad that you think there's something more, because otherwise, I don't think anyone would make it to the kingdom. No one can manage to live like Jesus taught us all on their own.
He never said just that, but yeah, I figure anyone who really tries will have that experience pretty fast. But in his message, he talked many times about God being our Father in heaven, that he cares for us and knows what we need, and that there's no lack of power with him.
You think that's the other pillar then?
Yes, exactly. And that has given me faith. When we are God's children and live with his power inside us, then it is actually possible to live according to what Jesus taught, keeping his commandments. Then it won't be only Jesus who fulfills the law, but we will too.
Peter, this subject is so important that I think we need to speak more about it later.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Jesus' laws I with joy will sing, their precious gifts unto us from our King. They bring us wisdom and peace of heart and glory eternal. These laws impart. With joyful heart I will thank the Lord for every law in his life-giving word. Upon this rock I my house will build. In life's tribulations it will not yield. To Jesus' laws I stretch forth.